Bundy pinned his man one time with a 3 count, dropped an elbow on him and pinned him again for a 5 count.
He told the referee keep counting.
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of 5 Count, my top 5 takeaways from tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. And let me say right off the bat, Monday Night Raw is now becoming must-watch television again, like how it used to be in the Attitude Era. You cannot miss a second of what's going on. Is the entire 3-hour show great? No, it's not. But 80% of that show was fantastic. So let's get into it. Here are my 5 top takeaways from the April Fool's edition of Monday Night Raw. Number 5. Man, Roman just can't hang with The Rock. I mean, so they announced that it's going to be a commercial-free first hour. The Rock comes out and he does his whole final boss thing for about 20 straight minutes. Then he's like, oh man, I'm not alone. Roman Reigns comes out. Surprisingly, he doesn't do his 10-minute entrance. But then Roman Reigns comes to the ring and it's like he's just stumbling, just not being Roman Reigns. It's like when he's in the ring with The Rock, he has to kind of play down. He's not, when you're in the presence of somebody that's so much greater than you. And I love Roman Reigns, so don't get it twisted. I mean, I've been a Roman Reigns fan before the heel turn. I was the one championing, waving the flag for him that fans were being too hard on him. When Vince McMahon was obviously pushing him as the golden boy, because I thought Roman Reigns was fantastic. And watching that documentary just makes me, it reiterates that. It's just that the fact of the matter is, when you're in the ring with The Rock, it's apples, it's apples and oranges. So they get into this whole long promo session. Seth Rollins comes out, classic Shield entrance through the crowd, and Seth Rollins says, "Hey, why not make this the biggest Raw ever and have a main event of Seth Rollins versus The Rock?" Oh my God, I just jumped out. I jumped out of the bed when I saw that. But I mean, you had to know Rock wasn't going to take that. So then he was like, well, if you don't want to take it, Rock, what about Roman? Roman's not going to take it either. And then they said, but we do have a backup. And it ended up being Solo, just like everybody figured. Ha ha ha, April Fool's, big disappointment for everybody. So they set up the main event for later in the night. Bloodline rules match, Solo versus Seth Rollins. Why Seth Rollins is taking on these matches before his gigantic weekend, who knows? Let's go on to the next tape. Tape number 4 from tonight's edition of Raw. Oh, Becky pulls up on Rhea. I love this. So Rhea Ripley was doing an interview with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour, and at the time he's doing the interview, Becky is calling him on the phone saying that she's right outside the building. Becky comes in, gets in Rhea's face, pushes her, all that fire, kind of like what they did with Io and Bayley on SmackDown. I love it. When you take it outside of the ring and you get realistic, everything isn't just this canned promo. You draw me into it. You made me think that you guys want to fight. Then later on in the show, Becky comes to the ring to cut a promo. They have a pull-apart brawl. Fantastic stuff. Rhea comes in, beats up about 10 security guards to get to Becky. They have a big pull-apart brawl. Adam Pearce is there looking like an idiot because he didn't want it to happen. But, hey, let them fight. In the words of the fans, let them fight. So my number 3 where am I? Yeah, my number 3 takeaway from tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw is, oh my goodness, Sami Balboa. This was fantastic. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable doing a Rocky Balboa-esque training montage where Sami is basically, Sami cut a promo and said that he was afraid. Oh my God, in the vein of Rocky. Rocky is one of my favorite movies of all time. So listening to him say this, I'm like, man, this is fantastic. He was saying, I'm afraid to let people down. I'm afraid to have the look on my kid's face like your daughter was crying, Chad. it was, man, hey, whatever they're doing here is fantastic. I think it's all going to lead to Chad turning on him, but nevertheless, what they're doing right now is fantastic. Oh, but my man Gunther wasn't too far behind. So Sami Zayn had a match tonight with Big Bronson Reed, and Gunther comes from the back pulling Chad Gable out like a sack of garbage. Sami comes down. Gunther beats the hell out of him, beats him down. Sami's down on the ground, convulsing, heart of a champion. He gets up. Oh, he gets up. I'm ready to fight again. Boom! Gunther hits him with the belt shot. Fantastic heel. That's why Gunther is the best Intercontinental Champion ever, period. And Gunther is the man. So let's get on to my number 2 takeaway from tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Oh, my goodness. Hey, both of these guys, Ricochet versus Ivar. I think this was the match that was supposed to happen last week, but Ivar wasn't medically cleared. Well, these two put on a banger tonight. Yes, your eyes aren't deceiving you. Ricochet has him up in a slam position, walking around with him. Ricochet hit a fall away slam on 400-pound Ivar, then hit the damnedest 630 splash you will ever see. This match was fantastic. I think if you give these guys 20 minutes on a pay-per-view where there's no commercials, they would tear the house down. This match was fantastic. Ricochet gets another win. Commentary is really putting some shine on him, saying that he's the most dynamic. Nobody can do what he does in the world. I mean, we know that's not true because you got Will Ospreay on another channel, but don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Nevertheless, Ricochet is a dynamic individual. I love the fact that they are finally shining him up. And then they cut to the back, and Judgment Day said that he's a thorn in their side, and Dom said that he had somebody to take care of Ricochet. So it looks like we may be leaning towards an Andrade versus Ricochet. And I say, here, take my money, sign me up, let those guys get 20 minutes to just go out and have their type of match that they could have. A Lucha Underground style match, dare I say an AEW style match, where they just go out and just throw balls to the wall, all caution to the wind, and just do their thing. I think they will tear the house down. So hopefully that's the direction for after WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, be sure to tune into Wrestling with Reality this Wednesday, as we will be giving our preview and predictions for the 13-match card now that we have all the entire card finalized. And my number 1 takeaway from tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, what else could it be? The Bloodline rules. So you have Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa having a great match. A lot of table bumps, a lot of high impact. Again, why is Seth Rollins taking these type of matches before his double main event match at WrestleMania? I got no idea. And Solo is a hard worker. Solo doesn't Solo lays his shit in. So you're not going to get a soft match with Solo. So I would be really careful if I was Seth. So the way this happens, earlier in the night, Roman left and was like, yeah, I'm going to go take care of business. Rock said, I got it. So Jimmy Uso comes out. Jay comes to cut him off. Then all of a sudden you see Jay Uso getting thrown from the back, and the final boss walks out just looking as badass as he can. Only man on earth that I know could wear a cowhide vest with no shirt on under it. So you got to be bad enough just to do that. He comes out. Seth is laying in the ring like a wounded animal. Rock is stalking him, and then Seth just starts to smile, and all of a sudden you hear Cody Rhodes' music hit. Cody Rhodes comes out. Earlier in the night, they said that Cody Rhodes wasn't medically cleared to be at the building. Whenever you hear that in wrestling, that absolutely means he's going to be at the building. Cody comes out. Rock and Cody exchanging punches. Crowd is going insane. They start to double team Rock. They clear the announce table. Cody gets The Rock in a rock bottom position. And at this time, I done jumped out of the bed, threw my computer to the side, and my daughter sitting there, and she's like, do it. I'm like, do it. Come on, Cody, stop wasting time. Next thing you know, boom, out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes back, pulls Cody off the table, and they proceed to lay down 5 minutes of the most uncomfortable beating you will ever see on two men. You thought that Stone Cold and Triple H was a 2-man power trip. This is the new 2-man power trip, and they beat the brakes off of Cody and Seth. Literally, Rock pulled off an American Nightmare belt, and laid the leather to their asses. He beat the hell out of Seth. He beat the hell out of Cody. I'd be very interested. You know, WWE loves doing those backstage shots after those type of beatdowns so you can see the welts and see the damage. I would love to see the damage that took place after this match. They beat the hell out of Cody and Seth. And WWE booking, whoever's left laying is normally the person going to win, but I don't know, man. Because tune in Wednesday. We'll give our predictions for the show. But I thought it was a fantastic beatdown to see The Rock actually get physical and get some punches back. Because last week he completely destroyed Cody, and Cody didn't throw one punch. Whereas this week Cody got some shots in. But it was just like getting bit by an ant. The Rock is just. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's just crazy how much of a monster this guy looks like. And him and Roman are just in the ring and just imposing as hell. And Seth is flopping all over the place. Seth is a fantastic wrestler. But when it comes to brawling, like looking like a believable brawler, it doesn't work. Not against these two guys. Cody has been in this situation before. He'll just draw inspiration from his dad and maybe he can do it. But these two guys just look too overpowering. I am so looking forward to see how they're going to book this match come Saturday and Sunday for that matter. But that's WrestleMania. We'll get to that Wednesday, and we are going to be doing a live watch along for both nights of the main events. So be sure to tune into that. Also, tune into my check out my channel. I did post my top 10 favorite belt designs ever in my almost 40 years of watching wrestling. So be sure to check that out. I posted that earlier in the channel. But as always, thank you for tuning in to 5 Count. I am out of here. I'll see you again on Friday. Peace!